What's up, Internet? We are here in the town, and today is the day. The day we finally should be able to work on our collection more. Hey, someone buried Excite Bike. I already have one, but, you know, maybe we'll go find it later. You know, in other news, I've been trying to replace a battery in a pocket station that I purchased. And fun story. The previous owner, I think, tried to disassemble it entirely because all the screws kind of fell apart, and all the parts fell apart. That was fun to find, and I'm actually missing like a tiny little clasp thing that does basically nothing other than fill space. It's a bizarre piece that is necessary, but I've kind of got it up and running. But since I had it kind of in a million and one pieces, I decided I might as well paint it while I'm here, because it's got that same plastic problem that the Super Nintendo and original Game Boy had, where it just turned yellow, and that didn't look very good. So I just decided, you know, I have some primer, I have some like nail polish, screw it, I'm gonna paint it. Custom paint job, let's go. And, you know, it's surprising because that is something that runs off of batteries, and yet it still maintains all of its save data, so it must use some sort of like internal battery otherwise that just relegates save data, similar to how a lot of Game Boy carts used to do it. I know some of the Game Boy Advance ones you had to manually change their batteries. Stuff like Pokemon was kind of infamous for that because they'd run out of batteries super quick. Which is also how I learned how to change the battery on a Game Boy Advance cart. My Pokemon Ruby needed to change its battery or else it wouldn't save. But not the Pocket Station. That thing holds save data. In fact, it holds preloaded data for Pocket Station games on it, which is interesting. And I think, based at a glance, that is tied to save data. Like, if you have a save file for a game that actually does Pocket Station stuff, it will also just give you the Pocket Station game as part of its total save file, which is interesting. And I'm trying to decipher what games are presently on there, because near as I can tell, there's one thing that seems to be Fire Pro Wrestling, and the other, it's a Capcom game, but near as I can tell, it's got baseball and some other stuff. I think it's Rival Schools, which is a game I've always wanted to play. And this might actually be the closest I ever get to it. Now, what actually surprised me is, despite me purchasing one, I didn't think I actually had any games that were compatible, and that is actually wrong. Apparently I do have a Pocket Station compatible game in Metroid R Parts Collection, which is funny because that's a sort of like expansion to a game, and this is basically just like an extra add-on component that gives you an expansion to the game, so it's like so many different degrees removed from the original game. It's really bizarre, especially if you consider that the original Metroid was a handheld game to begin with, so it's like, okay, we've got like a weird console spin-off with like a side story with its own like accessory that has its own LCD screen game. It's so many degrees removed from the original thing. It's kind of comical. But I'm excited to give that a shot at some point. But, yeah. This is just another reason why I should never be asked to take anything apart, because my hands are not made for delicate work. I'm trying to get better. That's why I took up model making and stuff for the most part. But, you know, I'm just really bad with my hands, and now I've lost a little tiny clip that only seems to take up space. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, there's a clip on two sides of, like, this sort of clamshell thing that folds upwards. And they sit in, like, the grooves where the thing connects to the main body, but all they do is sit in the grooves to take up space so that the actual, like, pivoting points don't go all the way in. It's really weird. Bizarre design. And I'm just figuring this out by, like, just sort of feeling it out and seeing what kind of works, because, you know, you look up how to reassemble a Pocket Station online, that doesn't actually bring anything up. Who'd have thought it? You know, obscure Japanese accessories that no one had in North America. People just don't know how to put them together. So I have to figure it out on my own. If nothing else, it's kind of an interesting little exercise, though, but I'm kind of annoyed that it's not, you know, put together perfectly. I mean, all I had to do was stick a battery in, but Oh, someone had to loosen all the screws before they sent it to me. So that's been the past, like, hour of my life. But on the bright side, we should be able to catch jellyfish today, which is exciting. That's important because it's one of 2 fish we need yet. Unfortunately, once we catch jellyfish, we will be with nothing else to add to our collection until September. Which, granted, is like 2 weeks away, which that's all kinds of depressing in and of itself. So that means winter's going to be here again because, oh my god, we only get 2 months of not winter here. I do not care for the climate in which I live in. Like, at all. But it gives me more excuses to fiddle around with my pocket stations so I don't go outside and freeze to death. I guess. Yes, I am that guy from the town. And I'm hoping I'll be that guy playing Spike McFang in a few hours. That'll be exciting. I gotta get 1 or 2 things done before then, but if I get that all done, I'm gonna totally play the crap out of that. But more importantly, we need to get ourselves a new fish. And because it was raining yesterday, there should be gyroids to be found too. That's pretty exciting. So, first things first. Fish, then gyroids, also maybe Excite Bike. I think that's kind of our plan. I don't need that. There's a thing to dig up, but it's not our present mission, so we're going to ignore it. Right now we have 1 goal and 1 goal only. And that is to work on our collection and complete the museum. Here. Oop. Oh, it's a banded dragonfly, but we don't need any more. Yay! Got a big snapper. We don't need that, but that does sell for some stuff. That might be what we're looking for, though. I remember it being a pretty small fish. Compared to, say, the sea bass. I think I grounded my lure. Fish, come back. I want to be friends. Done. Also, it's got weird transparency effects that make it only sometimes transparent. I don't know if that's supposed to be like it's glowing or something, but... Also, don't put jellyfish on toast. It would probably poison you. I'm thinking I might actually catch another jellyfish to put it in our house, just as like one of those rarities I'm kind of collecting right now. There's another one. This is the only point in the game where you can get these, and you have a 2-week window, making it the smallest time to ever catch a fish. Because even the coelacanth, for what it's worth, if you count like all the rainy and snowy days over the course of the year, that's more than 2 weeks, you know. Come on, fishy fish. Fishy, fishy fish. Yay! Unfortunately, of course, points out the obvious, we're still missing one, and we can't finish this until next month. But, on the bright side, we're at the very least done that. Okay, so I think step 2 is find gyroids because it rained here yesterday. And I know where one of these spots to dig up was, although whether or not that's a fossil or a gyroid is up to basically random. Also, banded dragonfly. Can we catch it? No. But we didn't need it anyway. But it would have been cool to catch another one. That's 2 we've run into in the past 5 minutes. That's kind of impressive. A mini nebuloid. Not a gyroid we need, but it's a gyroid we now have. And make a Sproid again. Not one we need, but one we now have, apparently. Maybe Tangy will give us a quest so that we can have something to do while we look for gyroids. I will get your thing from Pearl, or to Pearl, whatever. As my stomach rumbles. Which is weird because I'm not hungry or anything. I'm hoping that doesn't imply gastro problems. Alright. Oh. Ah, I knew that couldn't have been a gyroid. Having 3 all within basically the same acre is, well, not impossible, it's certainly not super likely. Maybe Ace will give us a quest that we can actually complete in town. I like that flower so much. I think it's going to disappear soon, though. And that's sad. Because I think it's one of the prettiest parts of this game, honestly. It's just a flower that floats in the pond. I think it's some kind of lily. Alright, so we gotta find one more gyroid. Maybe help Quetzal out if he wants something for us to do. I can't get you flowers, Quetzal. Sorry. I think you really like Goldie, Quetzal. I think that's who you like and who you're trying to impress. And if it's not, well, if nothing else, we can start a rumor saying it is. Alright. Now then, we're still missing one gyroid. Might as well see if Gulliver's around, although it seems unlikely today. There he is. Not that we need another grasshopper. We've already caught so many of them. Oh, let's get rid of this. Make this town a little prettier. We could go see Copper and see if anything's happening soon. I'm not sure he said anything about it last time. Frog, do you have something for me to do while I look for gyroids? Please say you do. He has not a thing. That's unfortunate. Cube, give me something to do. That isn't planting flowers or sending you mail. I can take a thing to Quetzal, sure. I know where he is, provided he hasn't teleported off to space, as animals seem to enjoy doing, although Quetzal tends to hang around pretty near his house for the most part. Copper! Nothing interesting. Alright, still gotta find us some gyroids. It's gonna be on like the museum area. Like that 1 acre that just never has anything interesting going on, so why would you ever go there? Don't fly away, butterfly. You're worth a lot of bells. Alright. Our pockets are in fact full. I think we can put that paper right there. Let's get rid of these while we're here. And a small service to our neighboring communities, because why not? Sometimes you just gotta be nice. Also, most of the time you should be nice. Just an important life lesson. Be nice, and you know, people tend to be nice back for the most part. Here's a shirt for you. Goodbye pattern I designed. I don't know what you're gonna wear. Actually, that doesn't look too bad on him. I don't think he'll give us his old clothes because they were made by me. And they're not an item. Let's see what we got here. A Keiko figurine. sure you're not even the freaking locust I want. But I want to catch you. I know my inventory's full. Ah, ran through me. That clever old trick. I didn't need it. I'm gonna release it. I just wanted to catch it because I could. Alright. Our pockets are currently full, so we'll probably go over to Nook's. Might take a little bit of a different route, just to see if we can find some spots to dig stuff up. There's something there. That might be our gyroid. There's another locust. I'm not sure about these jellyfish, but one's got to go to the museum. I think we'll keep the other two for my house and see what they look like. We can sell this guy, and this, and this, and this, and this, and also this. That's not bad. Alright, so let's go back to that spot and see if that's a gyroid. Because I think we need to find ourselves some gyroids. Because finding gyroids is an important part of having all the gyroids you want. But that is not a gyroid. Which means there's still a gyroid on the loose. And we have to find it. It is our mission. And hopefully it just, you know, actually exists, unlike the few that just seem to not spawn sometimes. Maybe if it's one day it only spawns 2 gyroids as opposed to 3, I don't know. It's noodle paper. It's paper that is written on noodles. Written by noodles. Or maybe the paper acts as a noodle. You could boil it and make pasta. Alright. Now then, we still have a gyroid to find. It's gotta be somewhere. I think that's a grasshopper. Yes, it is. Not what we were looking for, but we got it anyway. Hey, something in the trash. Let's see what we got today. Maple bonsai. Cool. I hear a cicada. And there it is. And I see a thing we can dig up. Perhaps this is the gyroid we've been missing all our lives. Fossil. Of course it is. Ooh, glowy spot. Yes, please. I'll take a free 1,000 bells. Where, oh, where is that last gyroid? Velma, have you seen that last gyroid? Because I'm kind of looking for it. Nothing to do for Velma. And Peaches is gone. That's strange. It's usually the other way around. Velma's the one who takes off, and Peaches is just sitting there doing nothing like a lemon. But what can you do? That's Peach's choice in life. And you have to respect that. At least she knows what she wants. And you know, I think that's quite respectable to know what you want in life. Because it means you can work towards that. And slowly attain your goals. I hear a train. I see a train. And also this. That's just another fossil. Crap, we're running out of room and we're almost full on fossils. Ugh. But we still need the gyroid. It's gotta be somewhere. If nothing else, we get to clean this place up a little. Because being neighborly. Nothing here. Nothing here. Hey, Ace isn't normally up around here. That's interesting. really seeing much here. Oh, there's Peaches. It's kind of a weird acre for her to show up in. Normally tend to stick close to your house instead of, you know, picking the opposite side of the map to spawn on. I guess it's just one of those weird times where they just teleport. So I do that. Alright, well, we've already checked on that entire side of the map. I know we've already gone past this coastline twice. It doesn't hurt to check for a third time, I guess. If we can find anything interesting. But it doesn't look like it. Nope. Butterfly! Making the day a little more magical. Good for you, Butterfly. Anything down here? Nope. Nothing up here. I just don't believe we're going to find this gyroid. Or perhaps someone already took it. How greedy of them. Don't they know that all the gyroids already belong to me? Or it's going to be on the freaking museum acre where, you know, nothing ever's supposed to show up. Because the museum's here and it's supposed to be boring and stuff. This is the worst acre for finding anything in, just because it's got so many trees. You know, I've been tempted to try and cut them down, but I just don't want to. Nothing here. Well, there's Weber, I guess, but, you know, I stand by my statement. There's nothing there. Alas, it does appear we will be without our last gyroid for the day. Oh, the shame of it all. Well, we can sell some of this stuff. Get ourselves our awesome flowers. Maybe it's behind the player houses? I normally don't look around here because, I mean, why would you? There's so little space something could be in. Nope. Doesn't look like we're gonna find it today. Maybe it didn't spawn at all. But what we can do is sell these two things. And this thing. Just to make some space. And then buy some flowers for our garden. Because our garden needs it. Because it wants to be the best garden. It's aspiring to that. And we want to help it as much as we can. I shall take these tulips. I shall take more tulips. You have no idea all the tulips I'm gonna grow. Never actually grew tulips. I don't think I've ever grown anything that's based around bulbs. I've been told they grow slightly differently than like seeds, or roots, or even clippings. And they tend to come back every year. At least based on what I know of them. Oh well. Don't leave, train. I'm getting on you. Please stay there. If you pull away, train, I will have to wait like a whole day for another train. And that would be just boring. Alright. Onwards to train victory. Alright. Let's go plant some flowers and look for Excite Bike. That sounds like a plan. And then suddenly, Rover appears. As much as we don't want him to, he's always here. Stupid Rover. His roverliness. No one likes you. Stop showing up. That seat's taken. It's very rude for you to take a already reserved seat. I was gonna put my feet up and take a nap. No, I don't care if it would have been rather uncomfortable having this large gap between the seats, where most of my body would be. It meant that you wouldn't be there, Rover, and that's the important thing. Alright, well, let's start by getting rid of these jellyfish, get them out of our inventory. Change the music to something a little less not good, or not bad. Oh, we gotta deliver something to Pearl as well. Put our good old classic theme song in here. I think we can sell that. I wonder. I don't think they like glow like they do when you pick them up. I'm not sure if that's just their transparency effect mucking up. I think it probably is. Oh, let's drop that UFO because we can sell that too at some point. I don't think we're going to keep that. Alright. So where is Excite Bike located? One of the 4 acres. Now, that sounds like that could be in one of any of the acres. But like only 4 specific ones could possibly potentially be. Of course it means any of the acres has the number 4 attached to them. Which honestly, if you're going to pick a single straight line of acres, is probably the worst one to pick because it's split entirely by a river and also by a cliff. But we'll make do. But first things first, let's go to the museum. And get one of these to our old pal Blithers. I hear a mosquito and I see it, and now I'm running away. Blithers! I'm here to deliver unto you a jellyfish. And you have an almost complete fish display. Don't put it on toast. That's a bad idea. And don't take a nap on it like Gulliver does. Alright. Let's go take a look at our new jellyfish friend. There he is. Still missing one, and we can't do anything about that for another 2 weeks, but at least we caught the jellyfish, which has like the shortest amount of time where you can actually get it, so you know, we're ahead of the game. Okay, next thing we gotta do is go plant some flowers, deliver the thing to Pearl, who's still here, which is important, of course. And then I guess we'll go look for Excite Bike. Plant this here. And we'll plant this here. We missed a square. Oh well. We'll get that squared away tomorrow. Now we gotta go find ourselves dearest Pearl. There she is. I'm here to deliver an organizer you forgot or lent to Tangy, because I don't know why you'd ever lend an organizer to anyone. Yeah, I'll take 1,000 bells, I guess. Alright, let's see if we can find this Excite Bike. We already have Excite Bike. In fact, I think we have 2 copies of it, but you know, it's a treasure hunt. It's in the 4 acres. Which means someone's got to have buried it around here. Oh, we're in the 5 acres. That explains some problems. Like why we aren't seeing it at all. You know, we could have probably just gotten a jellyfish around here. Without going to the other town. But I wanted to go to the other town because more flowers and stuff, so why not? But yeah, these acres for a direct line is kind of terrible because, you know, it's cut off by the cliff, but it's also cut off by the river. We're kind of limited with where we can search. Alright, well, let's go up here and see if we can find it. Because that's what we're just doing today, I guess. Looking for Excite Bike. We need more excitement and bikement in our life. Oh, it's behind a tree, isn't it? I don't want to dig behind all the trees. It's good. It's probably not even behind a tree. It's probably like somewhere just blatantly obvious and I'm just missing it. Again, this is one of the few problems original Animal Crossing had. It's the one thing I will ever credit that stupid rolling pin look. It allowed you to see behind trees with minimal problems. Alright, well, we got Excite Bike. I mean, we already had it twice, but you know, got it again. Phyllis, I've got to deliver a few fossils. So let's mail some letters. Man, I am excited. We are so close to getting the golden tools. Should only be a couple more weeks, and then we got them all. But, you know, it still sucks because I'm just wildly impatient. But at the same time, you know, once we have them, I'm not sure what our next goal will be. I guess we could work more on our house or just try and broadly accumulate wealth, but you know, we've kind of completed all the goals to the game. Once you have all the gold tools. Could try and beat Punch-Out again. Oh, I don't want to fight Mr. Sandman again. I still haven't figured him out and I'm super out of practice. Well, I know we already have a copy or two, but let's play the copy we just dug up, because if we know anything about NES carts, they play perfectly fine if they're buried under Earth. Actually, that's kind of the cool thing about physical cartridges, is they tend to last forever. You could take an Atari 2600 cartridge, leave it in a swamp for 10 years, and it would still probably work perfectly fine. Not like CDs, which, you know, they stop working if they get even a little scratched. Hyperspeed! This game is really advanced for its time. And how it takes into account both angles and speed. As well as how you land and orientation. It's really quite a complex game for its time. And of course, this was one of the earliest games that had a level editor. I think the only one, at least on the NES, that predated it was Nuts and Milk, which I think was a Famicom exclusive. And I know stuff like, I want to say Casey Munchkin also did it before this. That's a sad game, poor Casey Munchkin. Got sued successfully for being a clone of something else, even though it was arguably better than the thing it was being a clone of. And even though nowadays that doesn't even really fly legally. It was on the Odyssey, I believe. I've actually never played the Odyssey. I'd really like to, though. I like to play everything. I heard news I might end up getting a hold of a old like Pong style plug and play type of deal. I'm pretty excited about that. I just get excited about games. Discovering them. You know, even if I know what they are, being able to play them. Being able to see their secrets and stuff. You know, I think that's kind of why I think, in a broad sense, at the very least, I'm good at what I do, because I have, like, the biggest passion for games ever. Like, even just studying and learning more about them is just, like, the best thing, I think. Even if a game isn't super exciting, I still find a lot of joy in just researching it and getting to experience it. Ooh, I'm genuinely surprised I didn't crash. Are we going to get first place? I doubt it. I played a hack of this where your motorcycle was replaced by a car. It was weird. It was the same game functionally, but your motorcycle was just a car. And it didn't really work quite as well because of it. Did we get first place? I don't think we did. No. Let's try the next track. I think this is where things start to go bad for me. Oh, the palette swapped. And now all the fans are lemmings. Oh man, it's been forever since I played Lemmings. I haven't thought about Lemmings in ages. That was a tough game too. I've never been good at puzzle games. I mean, case in point, I tried to record footage for Puzzle Bobble 4 earlier today, and it's like, wow, I'm just abysmal at puzzle games. I don't know, I've always been a bit of an adventure RPG kind of guy. That's always been more my speed. I don't mind puzzles, but, you know, when puzzles are the exact only thing you're doing, it's kind of boring. Although, arguably, there is an adventure game that was kind of like that called Marvelous, and I actually quite like that game. So, you know, I suppose if you put the puzzle elements in a way that, you know, kind of hides them as puzzle elements, it's a bit more palatable for me. Oh, oh, this is bad. Yeah, this is the level where everything kind of goes wrong for me. Because it has like those awkward angled slopes. Yeah, but we managed to pass. Hooray! Actually pretty close to the best time too. We're going to defeat this lime green line of death, I hope. If I recall, yeah, you can do this, where if you pull a wheelie fast enough, you can actually just sort of step over the bars. It's really hard to do because the timing on it is basically perfect, but if you can do it, you can save yourself a lot of grief. Oop. Oop. Come on. We are really not doing terribly well for timing. Yep, this is where things get really bad for me. Okay, so... yeah, I think we're lost. If I recall... there's a jump that we could save a little bit of time on. Right here. Kind of. But we screwed it up because we were just a little too overheated. Oop. Can we make it? I don't think we can. Nope. 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 Oh. So close. But not quite close enough. 5th. Oh, come on. I made 4th. That song will actually be reused for about a dozen or so NES games. They really like that one melody, and I don't know why. Still haven't gotten any better at Excite Bike. Also, I think tomorrow we're going to try and clean our house a little bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know when we go live, because we do this every single night, as well as other stuff when I have the time, which ideally will be in a couple hours when I try and do a playthrough of an NES or SNES game I've been super dying to play. Seriously, I've waited for about a year to be able to play this, and now I've got a copy, so I'm kind of hoping to do some playthrough of it pretty quick, but first I gotta eat and take a shower and stuff. But you might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see a bunch of other videos, and not just Animal Crossing, but tons of stuff I've done. Tons of reviews and just gameplay stuff. Seriously, there's every game under the rainbow on there. There's something there for you, I'm sure. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is catching the one fish with the smallest window of opportunity to catch. I got that jellyfish, and now we're just missing one fish. And soon, that will be none fish. It's the salmon. But you'll get yourself on the Discord where we can talk about awesome things like how great and just sort of groundbreaking Excitebike really was, because damn, that's a good game, even though I'm crap at it. Plus other awesome things like almost getting the gold tools because we're getting so damn close. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Peace out, Internet.